Believe it or not, but I didn't just pop into existence a year ago when I uploaded my first video on this channel. I've been around long enough to dip my toes into various different modding scenes. Rivals of Aether, The Sims 4, and one that, while I haven't been active in the modding community for the game in years, still holds its grasp on the #1 spot, Super Smash Bros. While I'm including the entire series, since I spent the most time playing Brawl and Smash 4 modded, I only delved into making my own mods for the most recent entry in the series, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Most of the mods I made for the game were retextures based on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, minus a few exceptions like my Osu Stop Sign mod. While I don't think some aged as well as others, I'm honestly still quite proud of these mods, especially given that they've had multiple years to age and my head's now loaded with old person TM retrospective brain juices. Some favorites I still have are my Diavolo Wario and Doppio Mario Duo mod, Joseph Joestar Ike, and of course, the mod that's the focal point of this video, Killer Queen Mewtwo. I've wanted to explore some of my older mods in a video for a while now, but sadly since I don't have a modded Switch setup, I wouldn't be able to record footage of my Super Smash Bros. Ultimate mods. That's when the idea for this video came to mind. A small taste of some of my previous mods and a new one to contrast it. In this video, I'll be modding a new Cobblemon data pack to add Killer Queen Mewtwo from my Super Smash Bros. Ultimate mod as a new catchable Mewtwo form in Minecraft's premier Pokemon mod, Cobblemon. First thing I need to clear up, unlike all the previous data packs I've made on this channel, this one is purely just a retexture. The Mewtwo model used is Mewtwo's model from Cobblemon, created by Blazing Bro. Huge credits to them, their work is amazing. Same goes for the whole Cobblemon modeling team. Very amazing models, across the board. With that out of the way, let's actually give the design a good analysis. Since I don't have that modded Switch setup, you're gonna have to settle for screenshots. Though, I'll be linking the mod down in the description if you'd like to download it and try it out for yourself. If it still even works. That is, the mod hasn't been updated in like 4 years, so for all I know mods could be handled completely differently now in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Good luck! Either way, let's have a look at Mewtwo. The design was heavily inspired by a Smash 4 mod made by Merman26, so huge credits to them. Killer Queen Mewtwo's arms and tail are a dark, desaturated purple, based on the color of Killer Queen's gloves and whatever sort of skirt or kilt he's got hanging off of his belt. I'm not sure what it is, but it's certainly flamboyant, I guess. Very in character, not just anyone can pull off the cat skull tie. Moving on, Mewtwo's eyes are tinted red, with his irises appearing fully white. Mewtwo's equipped with a belt, and on that belt and on other various places of his body, the emblem or medal Killer Queen wears is positioned around Mewtwo's body to mirror where Killer Queen would have them. Like his crotch, for example. All in all, it's really just a few minor changes, but they really make the whole design evocative of Killer Queen. Now that we've got the design covered, let's get into the lab and see how we can cook up a new form that isn't just Mewtwo with a different design. Or Mewtwo but better. Or Mewtwo but a different type. We're trying to make it different, okay? Do you get the point? Good. Very intuitive as always, Mr. Viewer. There's a few different areas we'll be going over, and the first of those areas is going to be Mewtwo's typing. This one was a fairly easy change, as I knew immediately I had to give this form of Mewtwo the dark typing. However, I was conflicted on whether or not to make it a pure dark type or a psychic dark duo type. While a pure dark type would make the form appear more like an alternative to Mewtwo than appearing as just a better Mewtwo, I still felt the psychic type fit and decided to make Mewtwo's Killer Queen form a psychic dark type. Other than just pure theming, there was another reason I wanted the psychic dark type. It's pure defensive prowess. Considered one of the best defensive type combos in Pokemon, the combo only has 2 weaknesses, being 2 times weak to Fairy and 4 times weak to Bug. Very ironic. Harvest could whoop this guy's ass with like, I don't know, Twin Needle? Shigechi Sweep! And Shigechi Segway. We're talking about abilities now, okay? Good. Mewtwo's normal ability is Pressure, the generic, legendary ability that makes your opponents use more PP. Whoop-de-fucking-do. This boring ass ability needs to go. And for Killer Queen, only the most metal shit ever is gonna do. I wanted to make Mewtwo able to blow itself up better, stronger, bigger. Oh yeah, I guess spoilers for when I talk about this guy's moveset. It's Learning Explosion. Who'da thunk it? That aside, my initial thought was the ability Reckless, an ability that increases the damage of recoil moves by 20%. The perfect ability to add intensity to Killer Queen's final flash. However, some of you may have already picked up on the caveat here. Specifically, Reckless increases the damage of recoil moves, and moves that are specifically guaranteed to cause the user to faint, like Explosion, are for some reason not classified as recoil moves, and therefore do not get that sweet 20% buff from Reckless. I'm actually not sure the reason for this. I assume balancing, because it would be too strong, maybe? If anyone can give more insight on this in the comments, I'll make sure to pin it. Either way, Reckless is a no-go, so I changed my focus to another aspect of Killer Queen's abilities. Strike Hat, specifically Strike Hat's bubbles. This was because I stumbled upon Araquanid's signature ability, Water Bubble. Water Bubble does a lot, halving the damage taken by fire-type attacks, preventing burns entirely, and doubling the damage the user does with water-type moves. Great! Mewtwo can let rip highly destructive bubble beams. This ability will be surely perfect. I can see your guys' face right now watching this video with murderous intent in your eyes. Ready to get your pitchforks thinking, I'm actually about to give Mewtwo fucking Water Bubble as an ability. Don't worry, it's Aftermath. Mewtwo's getting Aftermath. Third time's the goddamn charm, I hope. I'm really glad I didn't just decide on Water Bubble though, because I really don't think it fits. I considered it for a while because I couldn't find anything that fit better, but I'm glad I kept looking. Aftermath deals damage equal to a quarter of the opponent's max HP when they knock out the user with a contact move, and is by far the closest Pokemon ability to being considered explosive. Don't agree with that opinion? Thinking, duh, AoE is so dumb, Aftermath isn't ever specified to be an explosion. You know who does agree with me? Mr. Game Freak themselves. Since the ability Damp, that specifically says in its description, prevents the use of explosive moves, also prevents Aftermath. Damp doesn't just cancel any ability either. Aftermath is the only ability that Damp disables. So Mr. Strawman, suck it! With an ability decided, let's get back to what I mentioned earlier with Killer Queen's moveset. I already mentioned Mewtwo will be getting Explosion. However, what I didn't mention is that Mewtwo will also be getting Misty Explosion. Boom, moveset done, nothing beats that. Okay, there's more. Of course that's not going to be all the moveset changes. Mewtwo's learn set is mostly kept the same with a few moves added, a few removed, and a few switched out, but I'm really only going to mention the important key ones. Mewtwo will be getting some dark-type moves for stabs such as Pursuit and Knockoff, with other moves like Close Combat and U-Turn for coverage. As implied earlier from the discussion surrounding Water Bubble, Mewtwo will be getting Bubble and Bubble Beam for some extra spice based on Killer Queen's own moveset. And with Killer Queen's special abilities in mind, at level 100, Mewtwo learns Roar of Time, allowing it to rip straight through time, just like Kira could using Killer Queen's Tertiary Bomb. Okay, shit, what's left? Stats? Pfft, who cares about that? I know what everyone's excited for. The gender ratio. That's right, when you find the usually genderless Mewtwo in its Killer Queen form, the Pokemon has a guaranteed chance to be male. This doesn't let you breed it or anything, not even with Ditto, but just another bit of spice to connect the Pokemon back to its inspiration of Killer Queen. Okay, I'll stop beating around the bush. Let's talk about its stats. Killer Queen Mewtwo has a stat spread of 100 HP, 150 attack, 74 defense, 150 special attack, 66 special defense, and 140 speed, giving us a base stat total of 680. If you want to compare that to Mewtwo's standard stats, I'll have them both on screen, and you may have already noticed, hey, they have the same base stat total. Like I mentioned earlier, I really don't want to make a new form that just replaces and outclasses Mewtwo, so I made special care to make sure their stats add up to the same BST. Compared to normal Mewtwo, Killer Queen Mewtwo is a faster mixed attacker who has significantly less defensive prowess. However, if you remember earlier, Killer Queen Mewtwo's Psychic Dark typing should help it make up for this now lacking defense. Despite both of Killer Queen Mewtwo's attack sets just not reaching Mewtwo's completely overly destructive 154 special attack, I hope being a mixed attacker allows you to have freedom creating fun movesets for Killer Queen. Okay, that's the last of it. We've gotten through all of my Pokenerd rambling. It's finally time for the payoff. Let's see Mewtwo's Killer Queen form in-game. The elusive Killer Queen Mewtwo has a very low chance to naturally spawn in one of two biomes, the desert or the taiga. Mewtwo will always spawn at level 70, with a catch rate just as low as the standard Mewtwo, so it's advised to stock up on a lot of different Pokeballs if you plan on going after this guy to add him to your team. Killer Queen Mewtwo also has a shiny form, based on the more vibrantly pink Part 8 Killer Queen. Research into this form of Mewtwo revealed it has a particular keenness towards Meowscarada, and that you should always be aware of what Mewtwo touches while it's outside of its Pokeball. Many oblivious trainers have been blown to pieces when particularly unfriendly specimens manage to touch their own Pokeball, turning it into a bomb. With that, I want to thank you all for watching. This video's release is going to coincide with the 1-year anniversary of my first video on this channel, and I genuinely want to thank everyone who's shown me support so far. Making this video gave me an excellent opportunity just to look back on how much I've changed and how far I've come from both the me 1 year ago who was super excited to show off his first data pack to you guys, and the me who made the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate mod all the way back in high school. I'm glad to be here, so thank you for being here with me. No more sappy outro. Check back next time to see me build a leg tummy in Minecraft. With that, ciao! The Mewtwo Funko Pop is bigger than the rest.